Hey, Ines.
Hello on that note. But as you said, with this recording in progress, it's good because if you're
Yeah,
fixing a cup of tea or something and you hear that, you can sort of charge back or do whatever you're doing. So
yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah,
Okay. She's
exactly.
nice about it.
It is very nice, isn't it? So,
Yeah, it is.
we're recording on the Saturday now instead of a Friday. How you been?
Oh, only today I went to the Cotswolds. I spent a night with my son and his family, and it was just nice to get out of. I'm not complaining about my own four walls, but just to get out of your own sort of little rat race. It's just
Mm,
different, and that was
mm.
nice. I loved sitting in traffic jam. It was so refreshing, so normal, so just so normal.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose so.
nice, nice. No, it
It is
was
quite,
good. Thank you,
it
and
is
I
quite normal.
appreciate that you were able to do it on the Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem. I
you
mean,
very
it's
much.
it's interesting. I was on the overground and the tube yesterday.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange, isn't it? Because everybody's got like their masks on and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And even I went to get my vaccine on Wednesday,
Oh, yeah. Good for you.
and you know, it's like I've seen this thing on Instagram, which is we're living through a historical moment, and I sort of haven't felt it. But on Wednesday, I was like, this is so weird. It's so like
Yeah.
science fiction, because you go to the
Yeah. Creepy.
center, it's
Yeah.
creepy.
It
Like
is.
it's so creepy, but I honestly understand it's a good thing, but it's also so creepy because even like 2 years ago, I could
Mm.
never even imagine
Yeah.
that I was gonna 2 years later, I was gonna stand in a queue, everybody was gonna like huddle, have their masks on and like get
Yes.
their vaccine, and it was really strange.
Yeah. It is. It's like a bad sci-fi movie
Yeah,
come true.
come true.
Yes. What is that one with? Is it Kevin Costner? And where New York freezes over this terrible
Oh yeah.
snowstorm. Yeah.
I actually really like that one.
Yeah,
It's
it is,
quite
but it's still creepy. It's
yeah,
nice just to watch it.
yeah.
I don't want to be those people, those
I don't
wolves running
yeah,
after the person, yeah, yeah, with a sunken ship or something. Woo.
yeah. Well, it's like that seems unimaginable, right? But then you
Yes,
think about what's going on in Canada right now with the lightning strikes and the fires and that city, though not city, town, which is burned to the ground.
exactly. Which one is that? I missed that news.
Yeah, I saw some news, was it this morning or yesterday? Like
Good God.
the town was just leveled
This is in Canada, is it?
in Canada.
Good God. And
Like,
Canada, of course, is north and it's more the colder climates.
yeah, it
Gee,
was
that's
just
horrible.
the town was just gone.
Good God.
It's awful, isn't it?
It is awful.
Yeah, and then
Gee, that's terrible.
you just see. I mean, I suppose you would just imagine. I mean, I couldn't never like I look out my window and I have
Yeah,
tons of houses. I couldn't even imagine that this whole area would just be leveled because of it.
I know.
It just
I know.
seems
It's, yeah,
madness, but it's actually happening in
yeah,
Canada.
exactly. Places we don't expect.
Yeah,
Gee, that's awful. My
yeah.
gosh.
So
Horrible, horrible.
it's a weird time that we're
It
living
is a
through.
weird time. It's going to take, it's zapping the strength out of like 90% of the people.
Yeah.
Just draining everyone. There's anxiety, there's uncertainty, there's fear. Not about that lightning strike if you're in our little neck woods, but it's just what's going to happen tomorrow. Now they're
Mm.
saying we don't have enough lorry drivers, and they're trying to get the army in, so because the shelves in the supermarkets are going to be empty.
Oh, I did
You know,
not
it's
see this.
oh yeah, that was today.
Mm. So it's
Not
like
nice, not good.
it's not good, isn't it? But I suppose that's in so many ways where I don't want to say that's where we come in, but it's kind of
Yes,
where we come in. It's like how
that
do
is
we?
kind of, yeah, it is kind of where you're absolutely correct. Instead
It's
of
like
reading the newspaper, it's
yeah,
discussing current events. And our topic is, if you like, is sometimes it's very difficult from our point of view to be clear actually what's good and what's bad. And what should and shouldn't happen. And this doesn't apply just to ourselves. We're talking about the global happenings as well. But either way, it's nothing that we can actually do about it. But it's always, in the end, the way our mind, the strength, the confidence within ourselves, the clarity of thought, or the brain mind can deal with it. So by being able, wait a my little hand that she can continue. So our brain mind is what we're always trying to bolster up when we're saying, how do these people cope, and so on and so forth. So when we endeavor to bring the mind, the body, and the spirit, which is of course our soul, together, it's a physical, spiritual self, which is then more able to function. And that's also the function that means to give us the strength, to give us the confidence to come on, we're going to make this, come hell or high water through whatever is happening. That is the mind strength, our inner mind strength. But that's also why the areas of concentration, prayer, chanting, visualization, singing, meditation, all of those things are so very important throughout the world. Every human being needs to bolster up their mind strength. And by doing that, that mind strength becomes stronger and is able to resist easier and more positively the rabbit hole thoughts that can lead into a dark place. All over the world, nobody's different. Everywhere, all the same. So as we mentioned last week, actually, the vehicle or the train to that inner self needs to be created, needs to be built, customized. This vehicle needs to be customized by ourselves to reach the point, let's say, even of ourselves. Why? Why do I wish to meditate? If everything is karmically or preordained, why the hell should I bother? Why? So in the meditation, concentrate on that, the why. It will not take away from the answers, perhaps, that you need on the physical side of job, love, money, and so on and so forth. Health, job, love, and money. So if the train, that vehicle that we are building through the effort of concentration, cannot move on the track, then the train, of course, cannot travel or connect with a deeper mind, with our deeper mind, and it will not be able to reach its destination. Destination is your need of either releasing the tensions, the difficulties in life, perhaps being able to calm or being able to focus on life. And last but not least, let's say, to ponder literally on the question regarding your life and to reach a deeper understanding of why life, why your life, why is your life turning out the way it is? What are you expected to do? Why is it necessary? That's the individual, let us say, what do you want to call it? Embellishment on the train of meditation, our vehicle. This journey, if you like to call it, as we did last week, it's quite a journey. And it's often said that the soul, that's what that journey is. We're reaching that part of the mind which is regarded as the soul of ourselves. It's that part of us which controls us through our life and actually has the power to understand our physical needs. Nothing wrong with asking, hoping to get an answer for your physical life. There's nothing wrong with that at all. We are physical. We are born physical. We have needs. And our personality, depending on the needs that each of us focus on, is also okay. It's all right to want, to need, to ask. Now, the brain actually weighs in proportion. It weighs to the water, to the brain membrane, and the water content of the brain is about 9/10. And the brain is 9/10. However, the oceans of the world are also 9/10. And the reason for this can be looked up. The reason for this is because the body is also the best conductor of the forms of electricity. Now, in our places of work, like now, we're Zooming. We can physically send messages, images of ourselves across the world in a fraction of a second. We send written documents, obviously, also across the world in a fraction of a second, don't we? All is done by the power of electricity. My computer, electric. Your laptop, electric. The cell phone, electric. It needs that energy force. Now the body, our body, uses it in exactly the same way. So we also have the totality of conductivity, which are the communication points that bring it all forward into the brain. Hence, we're all transmitters, we're all receivers. And some individuals, of course, as with anything, some are better than others. Of what am I talking about? Extrasensory perception, of course, the sending, the mind stretches out, third eye type of situation. The inner brain is like a vast sorting office. If we can imagine the amounts of thoughts and the needful decisions that need to be made, all of us, each of us, it runs into hundreds of millions, but we're not always aware of what is being achieved by ourselves. Psychic depression is one of the most common depressions in the world, because more often than not, we're not able to use our gifts, meaning our spiritual assets. Our spiritual assets are to be an accountant, to be, let's say, a lawyer, to be a dancer, a singer. It's not only reading a crystal ball. Has nothing to do with this. Those are also spiritual assets because we are physical. And if we're not able to utilize what gifts we have been given, then we have this downward spiral. And that leads to a state of depression, as the overflow of energy in the body has not been released from the mind and the body. There's no release. So what do? My God, we're not always aware of it. So what we're actually intending to do through the meditative state is to reach the inner self, where the power of spirit meets with that of the physical. It is the innermost sanctum, which is the soul. It is the vehicle that we build to reach the point of why and where to. What do I do next? So the why you are meditating on, why is it necessary? And not just to follow like sheep. Following like sheep, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What are we doing now in the pandemic with all the heads of science, virologists? We're all trying to see which country, what are you doing? Why has your rates gone up? Why have they why have they decreased? Why aren't there so many deaths in one country? What are we doing? What can we do to improve? So we're also following like sheep through information. But meditation does bring information, not a belief, because John Doe thinks this is the right way to do. Good, but you're not John Doe. Reach your own conclusion. Now, it sounds strange, but if you can, always try to allow your mind to be at literally a comfortable level, meaning try to feel comfortable with what you are, what you do. And as I said, it sounds odd, but always feel comfortable with what you have and what you can achieve at this moment in time. Also, how you feel, how you are. Feel good, feel strong, and feel positive about yourself, as this will increase the output in your life, as well as the input that you will receive, because this is the positive reaction of self. That's what we got in life. You, how you look, what you are, what you can achieve. Okay, make the most of it. Be proud of it. There's a reason for it. And by doing that, that creates the positive reaction of ourself. And that is already the cornerstone of not going down the rabbit hole. I don't know how you feel about that, Thor, because you deal very often in your corporate situation with individuals who need upliftment, who need a bit of strength, go forward.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the working with individuals, working with groups, and also myself. You know, I think it always starts with the self, isn't it? When
Yeah.
those thoughts, you know, I suppose in so many ways it's difficult to help other people if you can't help yourself first.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have this when I can feel my mind start to spiraling,
It's a good new word.
good English. Um, I tell myself, Tor, you're spiraling.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
And I have to I have to do it a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can catch myself spiraling. Um, and I do think that comes from my sort of, I hope and think it comes from my meditative practice, that I can sort of nip that in the bud when it comes. I think in so many ways there was a sentence which came to me is like, and I think what I'm going to call this episode is like how to deal with uncertainty, right? Because I suppose
Mhm.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Is how can you cultivate a sense of self which is strong enough to bolster yourself? That's the word you used, right?
Yeah.
Bolster.
Yeah.
How can you bolster yourself up enough to deal with uncertainty and find meaning?
Totally. Totally. Absolutely. Not easy.
Not
Not
easy.
easy whatsoever. Because once whatever is in the mind that is causing such distress to the mind, how can you eliminate it when you know perfectly well the distress is not going to go away?
Mm,
Are you supposed to clap your hands 3 times and to say, okay, this is fine, it's calmer? We need something, something to hold on to.
mm,
And oddly enough, that feeling when we go into meditation and we feel somebody around us,
mm,
that gives strength. I'm not alone. There's a reason. I am being watched. It's not a mistake that somebody took the eye off the ball and I'm in this bad predicament because nobody was watching me.
mm,
They were watching the guy that's now getting millions or billions of money, not me, who's just trying to pay the rent.
mm.
There's always a reason.
There's always a reason. I suppose, and
There is a reason.
I suppose in the work that I do in my corporate job is at least I try to all. It's an interesting thing to think about. Like I think like I try to think of what I do as healing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I talk to people and I interact with people in meetings and so on and so
Yeah.
forth, because um it can easily get quite turbulent and toxic, you know, in meetings
Yes.
and opinions and so on and so forth. And then how can I be a leveling factor instead of throwing fire on the or throwing oil on the fire,
Yeah.
you know, how can I smooth out the situation? Is be like, okay, team,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
We need to think about this in a different way.
Yeah.
Which I think is yeah, I think it's essential. And I think I suppose this is just like it's like a more like a proclamation. It's my turn to stand on the soapbox. You
Yes.
know, I think
Yeah.
a lot more people need to think about themselves.
Yeah.
Think in that way. It's like, how can I be a healer instead of a destroyer? Although I know it's some people's karma to be a destroyer, but
Yeah.
like if you can bring that into your mind, do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. Any bit of information, how anyone, deals with any situations, I think is always helpful
Yeah,
because we all need something so different, and our situations are each so different.
yeah,
There's something that I think talking is very important if we're able to just to talk to someone, and that's
yeah.
also not an option all the time.
No, it really isn't.
But the only thing we've got left is I, me, my
Mm,
meditation, and you go in there and you try to bring forward that the strength. It is the strength that allows our mind to move sideways in our thinking to come up with a solution,
mm,
and it's the solution that we all need
mm.
to many things. But by quiet mind, if through hell and high water you're able to do that, wow. And
Yeah,
the hell and high water is often very much, we're trying to, it's a lesson for our spiritual being, our strength, our inner strength. Do we throw in the towel? What do you do? But no, it's there. And of course, that's why the visual, I'm not trying to, da da da, ours is the only meditation. Of course not.
well, of
Nothing's
course it
only
is. No.
ever. But because of the visualization, we are able to see, it is able to be given to our mind to see that which is standing beside us.
Yeah.
It is a loved one that has passed by your away, or if it is the guiding force that is right beside or behind the loved one that has just passed away.
Yeah.
That is what visualization is able to give us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm so completely uh, uh, knowledgeable that that is the way of help.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I mean,
see
that's
it.
yeah.
Nobody's telling you what to see. You see it automatically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's one lady which I have guided through meditations quite a few times, and she always says she sees her dead father basically,
Yeah.
and that is incredibly comforting for her.
Yes.
It lifts her up. It gives her that strength that he's still there because he died
Yes.
really young, basically. So,
Yeah.
which is really powerful. It's an incredibly powerful
Totally.
therapy.
It
It's
is. It
yeah,
is. And you know it's real because it's in your mind.
yeah,
You see it.
yeah,
No, that's well done.
yeah.
Yeah. We're going through tough times. Really tough times.
Yeah, and I think people need to think about that as well. It's like these 18 months have not been easy.
No.
So it's if anyone is feeling like anxious or worried, deflated, overwhelmed, that's normal.
Yeah, it is normal.
It is
That's
it is
right.
normal. It's been a
And yeah.
huge, huge, huge change over the last 18 months. If anyone is feeling a bit sort of, you know,
Oh God, yes. But even when you see on TV, say news, something like that, and they have, say, restaurant owners who are just opening up. So how do you feel about that? It'll help balance out the books, won't it? No, you're open. Half amount of people are allowed in your place. You might just about not go into deeper debt
yeah,
with a bit of luck
yeah.
as you eat the leftovers from the pizzas or whatever it happens to be. It's not going to balance the books.
Mm,
And then you're supposed to grin on TV, and then
yeah,
everything goes up, food's going up, and other things such as electricity, gas, electricity, council tax, all tax, road tax, this tax, the things you cannot do anything about. You cannot cut down on that anymore. They
mm,
go up. And you can't, and I'm certain, I know you can't, there's only so much that any institution or restaurant or gift shop, whatever it is, can put up their prices, even they're totally legitimate. It won't go in their pockets, it'll cover cost.
yeah, yeah.
Top
So
marks, top marks. And anybody who's in that situation, it would be amazing if there would be a reply so we can read out, these the problems that people go through and what have they done. It's a helpline for everyone.
mm. So what's our positive message for the week, Ines?
Yeah,
you know.
where is it, Inez? Okay. There's no such thing as a single chance, but many opportunities for us all.
Okay. There's no such thing as a single chance, but there are opportunity for us all.
That's right. So if you think you missed a chance at something, fine. Maybe it wasn't right in the first place, but there are always many opportunities and they will come.
Mm. Okay.
And if you can not despair, perhaps you can see those chances easier, much easier.
Much easier. Okay. Thank you for another podcast, Ines. A pleasure
Thank
like
you.
always.
Thank you. You too, Thor. Always
And
interesting to hear what's going on, with the wonderful work that you're doing with the meditations. There's also where is it again that you hold the meditations on a Wednesday?
yeah, it's at Aura Space in East Dulwich at 1:30. I do a half an hour guided meditation relaxation at that space, which is yeah. So if you live in the southeast area and you want to have an in-person experience, you should book your
Good.
session via their website.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Mm.
Excellent. Excellent. But you also do one-to-one healing sessions, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I absolutely do that. So again, if you live in like southeast, central, I travel. So please
So
do
how
get in
do they
touch.
get hold of you? Just through our podcast? They can.
Just a
Excellent.
podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a
Excellent.
podcast.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Great. And if you have any questions, again, just through our podcast, send us the
Yeah,
questions, send us your
yeah,
thoughts. We greatly appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, Ines. Well, thank you again, and see you next week.
You
Bye.
bet. Take care. Toodaloo. Bye bye.